Welcome back to the Happy House. Next, helpful hanging hacks brought to you by Supermoms. I'm back today with my favorite contractor, Rona, and we are going to talk about some helpful hanging hacks. Rona, a lot of times I've heard people do this. They'll wait for their husband or significant other to hang things, and I've always been sort of run and gun. I just do it myself, but there are some projects that are a little trickier that I'm not necessarily confident doing myself.
Yes.
So you are going to help me with some of those trickier things that involve studs and possibly screwing into metal, just all the things that are a little bit more intermediate or even advanced.
Correct. And along the way, I'm going to give you some shortcuts and some tips that I think really help me out in the field. And so I think passing them on to you, you'll love them. You'll just love them. One of my favorite little tips when you're trying to hang a picture is get yourself a paint stick.
Okay.
Get a big 5-gallon bucket paint stick. And the thing that's nice about this is you just come on down and you screw a little screw in, have the screw sticking out on this side.
Okay.
And then have a little pokey poke out on the back side.
Yeah.
Why? Because when you hold your picture that's on a wire, put it on the screw, right? Come up here. I've got a line where I'm thinking
You want the top
picture. Yep. So once you get it there,
Then I'm gonna guess here. Do I do this?
not quite.
No. Okay.
Well, because sometimes you might push through the canvas. So
Yeah.
take your picture off.
Okay.
You've got this where you want it, and then push in. Boom, ba-da-doom.
And there it is.
Yep. So that marks where you want your picture to go. All right.
That is a tricky thing because a lot of times and we're going to talk more about this later, but if I want two things to have the same top line to them, the wires or amount of wire might be different.
Right. So you're constantly having to take the measurement from the top of the wire to the top of the picture frame. This is just, it takes all those numbers away. You just visually look at it.
Yep.
When you're hanging pictures, things you need to consider. One, how heavy is it? Are you going into sheetrock? Are you going into plaster? There's different little tips along the way. So the easiest little hanger to use, and I affectionately refer to it as a fish hook. When you use fish hook, he's nice because all you have to do is find your spot, put it in, push it in, and voila, it's in. And these are actually pretty heavy duty.
Yeah. I've never seen one of these before. So this can't maybe go in a stud though, or can it? Because I'm
No.
saying, so what this is doing is anchoring itself on the sheetrock. Okay.
So advantage of this, super easy, the easiest one out there. Disadvantages, sometimes it gets a little wiggly jiggly. It might not be exactly where you want it,
Okay.
but very easy. The only thing you need to think about when using this is wherever you put your mark on your wall, from when we just had the paint stick back here, there is a drop of 1/4 inch that this will hang a little bit lower
So it needs to go up a little bit. Okay.
The next one I call pin and hook.
Okay.
The thing I like about this one, it too needs no drill. It's a little bit more stable Mabel. However, when you go to put the pin is just a little bit harder to push through the sheetrock than is the little hooky hook. All right, then we move on to drywall anchors, which this one is a metal one. The thing I like about the metal is if you accidentally hit a stud while you're screwing it in, the metal can go into the stud. You can also use both of these in plaster. You just need to pre-drill. The plastic one, pro is it's super easy as well. Con is unless you poke a hole in the sheetrock to begin with, sometimes the ends break off and you have to get a brand spanking new one.
Rona, when I go on some of my treasure hunting expeditions,
Yes, Happy.
I find things that I want to hang in my house, but they maybe aren't meant to be hung, and that oftentimes can get a little bit tricky. So I've got a challenge for you right
Okay.
now. Okay. And it is this beautiful window I found for free $99.
I love this. That's fantastic.
And I think it's gonna look great in my living room.
So if you want to keep it as secure as you can possibly make it, they make these bar anchors, is what I like to call them. And they come with, there's a little level, and that guy will go into the part that goes on the wall. And the nice thing is there's all these holes. So you will take your stud finder, you will locate the stud, line this up with the stud. As long as this bar is smaller than
The width of the window?
Yep. This actually goes on your sheetrock.
Okay.
Then you put this one, line it up nice and level, and you put this one on the back of your window here, and then this will fit into this. And the nice thing is you have wiggle room to slide it to the left or to the right because this is level.
Right.
So you have a little wiggle room, you can move it around and hit dead center with it.
This, I've never seen one of these before. I love it.
I know, I love these. These are my favorite.
All right. Rona, another challenge I think a lot of people have, including our friend Lisa, is that they want to hang multiple items on a wall. So Lisa has some square tiles. There's 6 of them and she wants them all perfectly aligned. And I think that that is really challenging to do, especially when you're spacing 6 separate things across a wall. So what are your tips on that?
So if you want more accuracy in your hanging, such as 6 different items, the first thing I would do is I would measure your wall. I would put tape out on the floor in the dimensions of your wall, and I would play with it. I would kind of just through trial and error, look and see what you find to be appealing.
Okay.
All right. Then once you know kind of your layout, find something, usually like, you know, the width of a paint stick in between each picture, something that's uniform that you don't have to sit there and use a tape measure for. Okay. The very first thing I would do is I would come to your actual wall when you're ready to hang. I'd run a piece of tape across the entire wall at the height about where you want the top of the picture.
And level it, right?
And put a level mark. So that's what we have right here.
Okay.
And then you use that and you can start, you know approximately where you want to go, and you do a little bit of math and you get your first one up there, you level it, you hang it.
Okay.
And then you put the width of the paint stick and then do the second one, right? Do one at a time.
Okay.
Don't just do them all and then decide to hang your picture.
Okay. Well, let's get started with this project for Lisa because we promised her we would do it.